Andrew Tate is the most Googled man in the world. He drives Bugattis, flies private, and has over 28 supercars at his home in Romania. But where the hell did he get all of his money? Well, Tate strongly dislikes the government and centralized organizations who can take your assets and investments away from you by force. So naturally, Andrew Tate invests in decentralized assets and digital property. And love him or hate him, we're talking about his money. And Andrew Tate claims to have made tens of millions of dollars from these investments in the last couple of years. And he plans to make much more in the next bull cycle. So exactly what tokens is Andrew Tate investing in? Where does he get his alpha? And has he really made tens of millions of dollars? Well, you might be surprised, and I'll show you why. All I ask in return is you hit that like button down below, put on your top G hat, and let's jump in. So we already know that Andrew Tate hates corrupt, centralized power. He calls it the Matrix. Everything from corrupt governments, banks, financial institutions, and even the big tech social media companies. And Tate's philosophy is to take the power back from these puppet masters of society and give that power back to the individuals, empowering them to make their own decisions and manage their own assets. And for this reason, Tate obviously does not like investing in things like real estate because he said you can never truly own it. For example, if Andrew owns a house in Russia but annoys the Russian government, they would just come and seize his property. So instead, Tate now exclusively invests in decentralized assets. And this doesn't just mean cryptocurrencies.
So personally, I prefer the idea of digital real estate.
But being such a big fan of decentralized assets, of course, he's a massive fan of crypto. And so let's get to the claim. Andrew says he's made tens of millions of dollars investing in cryptocurrencies. But exactly what currencies has he invested in and what sort of returns has he actually got? Well, like most people, Andrew Tate started with the big orange elephant, Bitcoin. And he first invested on the 12th of March, 2020. Take a look. Andrew Tate says he bought $600,000 worth of Bitcoin at the bargain price of $6,000. And although he tweeted that he was selling it on the 29th of April, apparently he did hold on to it and turn it into 7 million. Now, not long after this, Andrew Tate tweeted this screenshot of his Blockfolio portfolio containing $9.26 million in his account. From there, Andrew Tate went on to participate in the DeFi summer, which is now renowned for its insane APY guarantees and a really dangerous but potentially profitable pump and dump token mechanic. There was actually a time that Andrew Tate said he had $12 million in investments, making $32,000 for him every single day passively. Have a look.
I'm making 400% APY. On $3 million, that's $32,000 a day from the fucking sky.
And if you want to know more about how these protocols function, we actually made a video on it. I'll link it up in the description below. But just know, if you knew when to take your money out of these protocols, you made a lot of money. And if you didn't, you lost a lot of money. Take a look at one of the popular protocols at the time, Badger DAO. If you got in at $6 and exited at 80, for example, you did very well. But if you missed this top, it's a slippery and long way down back to the bottom. And we did actually track down a wallet associated to both Andrew and Tristan Tate that participated in this exact Badger DAO. And unfortunately for them, they did not time this market well. The wallet shows them buying in at about $55 and selling at $7.50. Now, the Tate brothers did have a lot better results with the wallet that's been associated to their name. For example, the DeFi project Damani Protocol, they sold very close to the peak of the token price. And now if you ask Andrew Tate, he says he made a lot of money in this DeFi summer. So much so that he actually came out with a DeFi course on his website. And on the sales page of this product, Andrew Tate specifically mentions a few DeFi tokens which line up to the same protocols that we found traded on his wallet. And it's very likely that these are the same tokens he was referring to when he tweeted that he was messing around with altcoins for a few months. Now, after his initial foray into Bitcoin and then his DeFi summer with all these little altcoins with a little bit of mixed result, Andrew Tate has gone to the buy and hold strategy. No more day trading and really volatile coins for him. Now, although he doesn't publicly talk about what he invests in for obvious reasons, his brother Tristan Tate did actually give us a few tip-offs in an interview that he did. Tristan said that he got into Bitcoin at $3,000, which, funny enough, is actually half the price of when Andrew Tate got in. He then goes on to state that one of his biggest wins was actually Solana, claiming that a war room member tipped him off that Solana was going to absolutely blow up, and Tristan got in at $9. And if you weren't aware, Solana actually capped out at $250 in the last bull market. giving Tristan at least a 20x return if he timed his exit right. And according to Tristan, apparently he did, because he said he earned half of a Bugatti. And if we do the quick math, that's about $2.6 million from this one trade. Which leads me to making sure that you know that 99% of the crypto market is built on speculation and narrative. And it's this reason that the early adopters get insane rewards and the latecomers in the mainstream are just exit liquidity. Just take a look at the average investment return for projects that Gary Vee tweeted about in 2021. You can see the closer that you bought to when Gary Vee actually bought, the better return you would have made. And that's why we set up our Patreon with wallet tracking software for the biggest social influencers like Alex Becker and Gary Vee. So you can see exactly when they buy or sell a project and not wait days after until they tweet about it. If you're interested in doing so, I recommend you do so now and use the link in the description, because if you use that link, we'll also reveal to you the exact wallet addresses associated to the Tate brothers. So if you want to get ahead of the mainstream, the link to the Patreon community is in the description below. For everybody else, keep enjoying the free videos. So this brings me to the next question. What cryptocurrencies are the Tate brothers holding most recently? Well, in this same gem of an interview, Tristan Tate actually mentioned a token that he got into because, once again, a War Room member tipped him off. Now, this next token is actually one that we've broken down on this channel before.
I don't know how badly this is going to age. UOS Ultra. UOS Ultra, my friend had heard that Bethesda game studio had teamed up with them, and that was going to be the token used inside of Bethesda's games. And even I, who don't play video games, know who Bethesda game studios are. So I went in for 200K just recently.
And it does have pretty strong fundamentals. Ultra is a coin in the gaming ecosystem and is basically a Web3 version of Steam. And if you want to find more about it, I'll link it up here for you to watch the full breakdown, although please note that Tristan did actually end up selling his Ultra for about break even. And one final note I'll leave you on, which really piqued my curiosity when I heard Andrew Tate say this. Andrew Tate says that he's going to be launching his own bank. It's going to be called the Bank of Tate. Now this is pretty fascinating, and given his experience in the DeFi world and also given his strong bias to decentralized currencies, I'm guessing that this is going to be done on the blockchain. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with everything, and I'll see you in the next video.
I'm in a position now where I'm building my own bank. I thought, okay, fuck the banks, I'll build one. So I'm not going to talk about how I'm doing that, but I'm building my own bank from the ground up. I will start my own bank, the Bank of Tate.